Hi guys, so I'm going to be talking about the book that I first went to like as soon as I found out about my cancer diagnosis. As I mentioned her a lot, my sister was the one that recommended it. She has been sort of following this doctor for quite a few years and been like recommending me to watch her. I think it was to do with hormone issues that she was trying to get me to watch her, because she does all like YouTube videos and things. But anyway, so like I went straight to this book, downloaded it on Audible, and me and my mum were listening to it together a little bit, and then like she was listening to it, I was listening to it separately, and then my sister was listening to it as well. So we were all like getting like a feel for the stuff she was saying. Anyway, I'll say what it is. It's the Cancer Revolution by Dr Connealy, and forward is by Dr Joseph McCollan. Obviously anyone in the holistic world will have heard of his name. So what I'll say about this book, I haven't actually got all the way through it yet. I've just checked, and I think it was like it's chapter 7 I've got up to, and even though I've been listening to it for a couple of months, I've kind of like got to a point where I needed a bit of a rest from it. It is so informative, but for me it was almost like a little bit. Sorry, that was my Ocado delivery. Where was I? So with the book, yeah, I kind of found it quite overwhelming. Even though it's so informative, there's so much information, it almost got a little bit too much for me. But I'm someone that when I'm doing something, I like to do things to a T. I like to do it really properly. And I don't think you can really do that book that way, and it was just stressing me out. So what I've done is I've got the integrative doctor involved, and then I can ask her the things I see through the book, whether I should do it or not, what I can do it alongside, because obviously there's so many different things, treatments and therapies and that you can do. Some of them aren't good for certain cancers, some of them aren't don't work alongside sort of certain medication and all things like that. So if it's good to get an integrative doctor alongside if you can. Well, I think there's like another type of doctor called functional doctor. They're slightly different, I don't really know how, but that's what I've done anyway. And like, because she talks about like diet in there, she's got a diet plan which is really helpful, but for some reason my food was like a real issue with at the start for me. Again, because I like to do things absolutely to a T, it was almost like I hated the restriction, even though my diet is very healthy anyway. It was like even more so, and there's certain things she talks about, like a ketogenic diet. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I mean, I've always been quite sort of on the paleo side anyway. Not fully, but so I get it, but it was just difficult, the idea of not being able to have things like carrots and sweet potato. And although I am limiting them, before, when I first started doing it, because I was trying to stick to it so much, it was stressing me out. So basically what I've done is I've just taken the book with a pinch of salt now. I'm not stressing myself, because obviously stress creates cancer, so you're better off, like, well, for me, I know I'm better off eating the way that I was already eating with a little bit more restriction, and I have, because, you know, normally I'd be eating chocolate every day and things like that, and more than I should be probably, whereas I'm like really like limiting that. I'm not I'm barely like touching coffee. I will have the odd treat now and again, but it's always like fresh coffee, just things like that. But from a newbie side, if you were like, you know, a bit of a junk food person, or you know, your meals weren't all made from scratch, you weren't eating organically and gluten-free and all of that, it could be like a right minefield, I'd imagine, because obviously I'm already on that way with the way that I eat. So that's just how I feel about it anyway, I think. But it's definitely worth getting this book, I would say. Like, it's really it's just really informative, and it's good to have the extra bit of knowledge, even if you don't stick to everything. There's just so many things that you can do from it, and you know, if you're adding just a few things from it, which she sort of says in the book in the end as well, even if you're like doing a few things from it, it's better than not doing any of it at all. And that made me feel much better when I read that part. But yeah, so that's kind of like where I'm at in the book at the moment. I've sort of been all on like the kind of like medical side of it, the like the treatment side of it, the therapy side of it, like kind of like the sciencey type side of it, and the foodie type side of it. But I've not got into like the whole like exercise and meditation, journaling, but again, I kind of already do all those things already, and I'm now sort of incorporating like more stuff, like deeper stuff, and as I say, that like that's why I'm going for like the body work things, because that's where I wasn't taking care of myself before. Yeah, so I think that's everything I wanted to say, but that's just my experience with the book. But yeah, I highly recommend getting it. You know, even if you don't have cancer, it's a really informative book on health anyway. So hope you enjoyed that, and take care. Bye.